And we're back with our political panel. Jamelle Bouie is Slate's chief political correspondent and a CBS News political analyst. Ramesh Ponnuru is a senior editor for the National Review. We're also joined by CBS News chief congressional correspondent Nancy Cordes, and we want to welcome the Washington Post White House bureau chief Philip Rucker to the broadcast. Nancy, I'm going to start with you, though. You have spent so much time up on the Hill after this shooting Wednesday. Give me a sense of the feeling, the temperature, the atmosphere in the wake of that.
Well, you know, every member of Congress knows, in a sense, that they are a target. They've all gotten death threats. They all have a story about someone who's vandalized their property or someone who was arrested for making such extreme threats. But they go about their daily lives with that knowledge in the background. Otherwise, they really wouldn't be able to get out there, meet the public, and do their jobs. Now it's in the forefront. And I heard many members say this week, not just that they're worried about themselves, but they're a lot more worried about their staffers, because those are often the people who are on the front lines here in Washington and in their home districts. And they're not really sure what the solution is, how you stop a madman like this.
Yeah. Phil, the president has had to, this is the first kind of thing like this he's had to respond to.
That's right.
What did you make of the White House and the president's response to this?
I thought his response the morning of the shooting was really different, a different tone from him. He was presidential. He talked about uniting the country. And I think he's starting to recognize the danger of this political rhetoric that we're all dealing with that you spoke about a few minutes ago. And he's at the forefront of that. I mean, it's his tweets, it's his comments at his rallies that is stoking so much sort of anger and emotion out there in the country, and he's trying to use the bully pulpit of the presidency to calm that down a bit.
Ramesh, how long do you think, if things have changed, have they, and how long do you think it lasts?
Well, the precedent is that the tendencies towards increased polarization, less civil rhetoric, that just keeps increasing. There are these momentary pauses. I don't see any reason to doubt that that's what's happening now. I'm always reminded when I cover presidential elections, every 4 years, Tocqueville's comment that it's like a national crisis, it's like a national fever, and then after the election it passes. This time it doesn't feel like the fever broke.
Right. And Jamelle, in the way people talked about the event itself, it seemed wherever you started the conversation might get you into an immediate fight again. I mean, whether it was about guns, whether it was about rhetoric, the president, or what. What did you make of this week?
Right. It was striking because I got the sense that so many people were trying not to make this a political conversation, not to make this something so politicized, because there's something just frankly crass about trying to turn the shooting of a congressman into a partisan football. At the same time, there are legitimate issues here, and I felt people were struggling trying to get those to the forefront. Some of those legitimate issues are guns, are domestic violence. The shooter was arrested for a domestic violence incident, and all of that, I think, got a little lost in this drive to not politicize.
All right, we're going to end this here briefly. We want to take a little break. Next up is Jay Sekulow, who's President Trump's legal team, and then we'll have a lot more from our panel. Stay with us.